was told, a week and a half ago that, well, it's going to be another 6 to 8 weeks. Well, that takes us basically through April and May, which is half of our season. If you don't think something can drive away hotel guests faster than somebody dismantling a sewer plant next to the main entry to the hotel, I would have a hard time thinking of something worse. Maybe a cattle slaughter plant or something. But it's not a particularly attractive business. As to our expertise in removing sewer plants, we have no prior experience in removing a sewer plant. However, there are a set of regulations that govern preparation of the plant, which the village is complying with most of that, and Don and I are still negotiating over who's responsible for cleaning the inside of the containers. But our contractor is prepared to remove the plant in large pieces. Basically, each containment vessel would be removed in whole and hauled away, and that speeds up the process of plant removal to 2 to 3 days versus 6 weeks. And I hear that the contractor who built the new plant might be able to speed it up to 3 weeks. And the reality is, every day that we're open with that thing sitting there costs us probably $3,000, and there's a limit at which we're going to continue to do that. So we had when we learned that there was no way for the village to accelerate its process, I met with Don and said, this is unacceptable, this could lead to the bankruptcy of the business. And that's, I don't think what you all want, it's certainly not what I want, but I have a lot of my hard-earned cash in it. And we are prepared to move ahead with adding an additional 60 rooms, which is what really takes the economic. But we were counting on the village at its word and having this thing out of here before our season started. And now it's April 11th. And it's still sitting there. I believe the customers have been transitioned off of it into the wet well. The plan was to let it drain naturally into the wet well. That was going to take 2 weeks. Don and I discussed it and agreed to have the material trucked out, which is a 2-day process instead of a 2-week process. We're doing everything we can to think of ways to expedite this. We're also taking down the cafe building in less than a week. Not starting in less than a week, we'll have it down in less than a week and out of there. So we've hired somebody with expertise in removing things rapidly and complying with applicable regulations. As I told Don, if we happen to violate a regulatory notice requirement and there is a civil fine associated with that, we'll be happy to cover that and indemnify the village, because it doesn't take too long at $3,000 a day lost to pay a fine. I think that's all I have to add about it. This is a critical issue for us, and the reason we're here at this late date and why we're in such a hurry is that we didn't realize that, one, that y'all were going to miss the deadline in February, and two, I had in my wildest dreams not imagined that it would take somebody 6 to 8 weeks to remove that. And there's not much to it if you look at it. It's 4 large containment vessels and some smaller equipment. But it is definitely endangering our plan. If I can answer any questions, I'm happy to try.
Questions, please, to Clark.
So, Mayor, as you know, the delay in completion of the new treatment plant was the result of weather delays.
It's just nobody said anything to us, and had somebody said something to us, we would have come up with a plan to expedite transfer or to haul the sewage. We were counting on having the plant out of there by the time the season opened. As you know, when we redid the hotel, we moved the main entrance to Main Street. It was a very intentional thing in order to make it part of Salado, in order to bring guests through Salado rather than off of I-35. In fact, we're about to fence off the I-35 frontage and with a fence fence that's designed to be covered up in vines. So it's going to be a very different look. When we did that, we were taking a chance because that makes everybody drive or walk directly past the sewer plant. But we knew it was going away, and we knew it was going away before our spring season, so we weren't terribly worried about it. The problem is between that and the cafe building and a few other issues that we're about to clean up, all of the good-looking stuff that we've done on the inside of that property is invisible from Main Street. In fact, what you see is not very pretty stuff. We can cure all of that, but we can't cure the wastewater plant without some either a miraculous turn of events by your contractor or allowing us to handle it ourselves.
Questions, please, Clark?
Clark, have you had any delays in your construction of the Stagecoach Inn? Any delays at
The
all?
only delay we had was Encore Electric, as I referenced earlier. We paid them $50,000 extra to deliver an additional transformer to us by May 15th of last year, and it was delivered at the end of July. And it actually took congressional intervention and some help from Don to get it there. And until we had that transformer, we couldn't condition any of the buildings, so we couldn't finish the inside. So we literally sat there for 2.5 months last summer, twiddling our thumbs, begging Encore, which apparently lives in a building much like the old Southwestern Bell building, with concrete on all sides that won't steal the wall. It's locked. Not exactly customer friendly. So I figured it cost us, $500,000. And they didn't give her $50,000 back either. That's nice.
What caused your delay in opening?
Do I?
What caused your delay in opening
Our delay in opening
Stagecoach Inn?
to, I'm not sure which delay you're referring.
Well, your first one, your very first opening was scheduled to be when?
Of the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were scheduled to open June 1st of last year,
When did you open?
September 1. And that was a product of the fact that we did not have,
So,
the whole site had been served with that inadequate electrical power. We had to bring in an additional transformer, which had to be, they said, brought from out of state. In fact, it was sitting in Hutto the entire time.
how do you know that?
But I think your town manager can confirm it as well as I can. We have.
So I said, how did you know that?
How did I know?
Where it was sitting
We were told after the fact,
by,
the installer.
told by the installer? Okay.
It apparently got transported from Hutto to Temple and then back here, I think.
Well, that's hearsay.
That's exactly right. All I know is that we paid them $50,000 to deliver it on May 15th, and they delivered it in July after a lot of pressure was put through on them. But all that tells me is that they are not people of that way. And they got screwed for $50,000. So if you ask what caused the delay, that's what caused the delay. The insides of buildings had to be conditioned. Electricity had to be turned on so we could turn on AC before they could be painted, before they could be, any of the final finishes could go. And that happened in a remarkably short period of time once we had electricity buildings. We even tried at one point running a building on a large generator to see if we could work with it that way. And it didn't function as intended, so we waited. But I don't, I'm not ashamed of anything we've done. I think we've done first class work. And so far as I'm aware, nobody else has kind of invested $13 million in Salado in the last couple of years.
We're not questioning that at all. That's not the question tonight.
Well,
At all.
my concern is that this is something that is critical to the survival of the facility, and why it's even an issue is beyond me.
Well, let me explain that to you. We're moving responsibility from us to you. That's a huge decision to make. Huge from this point of view.
Well, you're moving responsibility for moving some pieces of empty metal from one place to another. I would be delighted, in fact, the summary that I sent to Don, proposed that you all clean the inside of the tanks, which is really the last sensitive matter to go on. After that, they're just steel and can be disposed of in any way. You know, we have found somebody who will take it intact. I think part of the reason that it's taken your prime contractor so long to remove it is that they're cutting it in pieces. I felt they are basically 12-foot diameter by 12-foot high containers and can be picked up and moved intact, as they were when they were running.
Those are my questions.
Other questions, please?
Yes, Mark, we appreciate your time coming up here, and appreciate the close relation that you had with Don on getting your resort type area started and everything. So believe me, we don't want to jeopardize that in any way. We recognize what an important client and customer you are to our village. And we look forward to serving you on our new wastewater treatment plant. But whenever you get this approved, when will you have that plant completely down? And how much can you accelerate versus our mid-June estimate that we're thinking about?
Had we been approved on Wednesday night and had this been the second and third reading, the plant would have been gone by Monday, assuming that it had been clean.
Monday?
If we had moved on the schedule, we said, we are trying to accomplish a number of things. Oh, the pool bar was what I left out. We're also finishing the pool bar while we're taking down the Cattail. So all of those things were designed to be completed by April 15th, which is a far cry from, you know, mid to end of May. When you have, and I say this not as any sort of proof of anything other than things are improving. The inn was sold out on a Tuesday night last week, 48 rooms on Tuesday night. We had the Sunday before last, we had the largest Sunday volume at the restaurant that we had from day one. So the place is on upward trend because we are getting good feedback from the demographic that we're targeting, but it's also easy to turn that off with long set circumstances. And it's about to be seen by a lot more people than it's been seen by. And most people are less tolerant of a package treatment plant than I am.
So so the current effluent coming from your facility is now going into the wet well, so the
Well, I understand.
We've redirected the Stagecoach customers into the new treatment system, did so yesterday, and we have evacuated that plant as far as the wastewater. There's still some sludge and some limbs and stuff like that need to be cleaned, but we've drained it of its wastewater at this point. So about 56,000 gallons worth.
wow.
How many?
56,000.
So have you noticed any odor or any kind of, besides it being ugly, has there been any kind of odor or?
Most of
our
the
tunnel
on the managing director, I just, if you don't know if I speak from here. I mean, the answer to that is yes, and unfortunately, in the last few months, kind of on its last legs, the gentlemen that come and work on it or adjust it or whatever, it's always very interesting timing, like New Year's Eve at 4 o'clock when I'm checking in everybody, and weekends on Friday, and it just, timing could be much better, because truly, I'll give you an anecdote, it's a true anecdote. I'm riding with my golf cart, I've got a family with me, I'm taking them to their room, there's 2 little kids in the cart, we go by, the smell is unbelievable. I'm talking as fast as I can about how great everything is, and one of the little kids goes, "Ew, what is that smell?" Kind of lit up the whole cart. In other words, we're all trying to ignore it, being adults about it, but these are kids. But when Clark says we have people coming in, we've got 2 family reunions on the weekend of Easter that have been coming to Stagecoach Inn for 40 years. And, you know, they've been very high maintenance, which is why we're there, to take care of people. But we want to show them Salado in its best light and the Stagecoach in its best light and say, wow, Lee, here you go, this is what we got. And I'm scared to death, because we're talking Easter weekend is the 21st of April, and all this stuff is kind of a sliding scale. And, you know, we're just hoping upon hope that we can get this stuff out of the way and be on our best foot, you know.
This is not a time when we can afford to disappoint people or be at less than our best. And as we're rebuilding the business, it was gone. I won't say it was reduced, it was gone.
Sure.
And so that sort of thing can really color somebody's vision of a place permanently, even though it's temporary.
And we truly, I talk to almost every single guest, because I'm there for just about every single guest, and I mean, I tell them the tale of registrations on Main Street, we want to be part of the comeback of Salado. Was my plan with, you know, with y'all and with the developers. And I'm defending the fact that they have to come to Main Street. I have guests that have been coming here for years and years, didn't even know Salado exists. They knew that we had a restaurant in the back, which is on Main Street, our original inn. And I'm defending, hey, this is what we're doing. When we have a family, and I have to put them in a golf cart and have to go by the way of the sewer plant. And I pray that it's behaving, and it's not always the case.
I forgot one more thing that we're doing in our current round of improvements that will be complete by the end of April. We're doing a complete cosmetic rehab of the Longhorn building, which was formerly retail, and repainting it. It will get a much more significant review during the construction of the additional hotel units, but it's going to get painted and new railings, and will be re-tenanted with some interim retail tenants, so restore a little life to that section of the site also. We're making some significant changes to try to take full advantage of the time of year when people want to be here.
Okay, you said Monday is your date that you think you'll have everything taken care of if we approve this?
No, Monday was the day, had you approved it on Monday when I was here, that would have been the first reading, could have done second and third reading today, which would have released us to start tomorrow.
Okay, we'll stop right there. We did not take action on that because you did not remain at the meeting.
I had a family.
I understand that, I understand that, but we didn't take action because of you not being able to be here, so don't blame that on us.
I'm not laying anything.
Yeah, you are.
What I'm telling you is the fact that I was here for an hour. I was
All
here
right.
at the beginning, I sat outside of your anteroom.
We were here for 2 hours.
For 45 minutes, and Don and I have discussed this extensively. He knows everything that I told you tonight. So I understand that that's why you didn't do it, but.
Okay,
there are.
you're why we didn't do it, not us.
It's all my fault then. That's not, it makes you feel better, it's all my fault.
Well, it doesn't make me feel better, just be honest with it. Just be honest with it. Why we didn't take action was because, I'm talking about right
You need
now.
to imply otherwise it's.
I'm talking about right now.
No, I am too. If you're calling me a liar,
I'm not calling you a liar, I'm saying, don't blame us for not taking action
Okay,
on it.
guys, that's,
no, I'm not gonna be tolerated, I'm not gonna tolerate being called a liar.
You're not a liar.
You're out of order.
Don't tell me what I am.
You're out of order.
No, the
guys,
mayor does that,
You're
not me.
violating Robert's rules of order.
You're wrong.
I don't think so.
Clark, let me jump in here, please. Our issues is not for you, let me say it right, correctly. Our issue has nothing to do with going forward or backwards or whatever. Our issue is simply this, I'm going to try to be as very plain as I can. We transfer this over to you, which is the agreement that is there. We transfer it over to you, and we do everything that we're supposed to do. Where our hang-up is, Clark, is that when we do that, do we have an obligation to tell TCQ that you're going to tear it down without their permission? And you see, that for us is an ethical dilemma.
So my discussion with Dawn was that I had assumed when we talked last week that the village was ready and was going to file the notice of intent to decommission, which is a 30-day notice period. And I told him that we would commence demolition immediately. We would comply fully with the plan, but we were going to do it quickly because we couldn't afford not to. And if there was a penalty consequence to that, we would bear it, not the village. Beyond that, you know, the village is the one that has to, they own the permit, you own the permit after Morris Foster so graciously sold it to you, and, or gave it to you. You're legally responsible for decommissioning it. You have now, I don't know if it's complete or not, but there is a notice of decommissioning that should be filed by the village.
It's a closure plan that's been filed with TCQ as of this afternoon.
Perfect.
But the problem, I think the question he's posing, Clark, is this, and that is, we transfer the land, whether you follow that closure plan or not. The reality is you are not supposed to commence work on that closure plan and the closing and tearing down that plant until that incubation period, 30-day review period is complete. And the concern is if you proceed next week, if the transfer takes place, and TCQ comes to us and says you transferred that to somebody with full knowledge that they were going to violate the law, that's where I think they're going concern-wise.
I'm not intending to violate the law, and I'm intending to comply with the conditions.
But you have to wait 30 days. And you have to file
I'm not
the closure
intending
plan.
to violate the law, and I'm intending to comply with the closure plan.
If you start tearing it down before TCQ gives you permission, which is up to 30 days, then you're in violation of the law. You can't start tearing it down.
I don't believe that's correct. They don't issue a permit.
No, they don't. They have to approve the closure plan though.
Sure.
And right now, the closure plan is the village's closure plan.
And let's be clear what's left of the plan. Assuming you clean it per the environmental requirements. What it is a stack of steel. Right? So the environmental danger to that stack of steel is minimal to none. I have a hard time thinking of what it can do. In fact, the environmental danger of what's there now is far greater than what it will be there. I'm not proposing to violate the law. I am proposing to cure a problem. And I'm just asking Earl's assistance in doing it because I've been told by you that you can't get it done in a timeline that's not going to seriously harm the hotel. And I'm not making it up, I'm not exaggerating it, it's harming us on a daily basis.
Clark,
And so we're investing a bunch of money in a bunch of other improvements that also are harming us, and we're on a very tight time frame because we are already in our season. And we were hoping to demo the coffee shop and that plant simultaneously so that it's one disruption business rather than two separate. And we couldn't even envision what it would do to us if the removal of the plant took place over a 6 to 8 week period that would partially consume the parking lot adjacent to it, and would be going on for the entirety of April and May. I mean, I think you can imagine what that would mean. So I was answering your question, which is, once we have control of the plant, we can have it down within 4 working days.
Clark, first thing, I want to say thank you for a beautiful, beautiful rendition of Stagecoach Hill. It is absolutely beautiful. We have a lot of pride in that. We take a lot of pride in that. As a community, and I'm not really talking as the mayor right now, I'm talking as a citizen. There's a lot of pride in that. And I go by there twice a month, the front part, where you register with cops. citizens on patrol, and we stop. And we've noticed that everything is going up. And by that, I mean the number of people that rent your rooms, the number of people that eat in your restaurant, and we don't want to stop. That's not the deal.
Can you tell him the progression? I think that's an interesting, just in terms of occupancy, where we started out in September, where we are now.
Well, I'll bring it up to this date. I mean, September, I think you all may have known, Labor Day weekend, the ensuing 9 weeks, it rained 7 of those 9 weeks. You can imagine how it impacted us. So our ramp-up period hasn't been as strong as we'd hoped. I'm talking about occupancy in the 9%, 10%, 11%, which I've never been at in my life anywhere. But I think what's more telling is in the last 3 months, we end the month, the amount of money on the books from the rooms is equal to what we already have on the books for the next month. In other words, the ramp has begun. So last month I had the highest occupancy we've ever had since reopening the month of March, which is a very difficult month. April's going to be much higher than March. The book money that's on the books is better than the entire month of March. So the ramp up has begun, but it's accelerated at this point. But money on the books is only as good as what you provide, folks. If they come, I literally have had people come and say, I don't know, this looks kind of like a construction zone. I don't feel comfortable staying here. I'm going to leave. I mean, literally, and that breaks my heart because, we want nothing more than to be hand in hand with you guys in the city. And I preach that to every person that will listen to me. And I mean it sincerely. So we've seen it. We've seen a progression of growth. These last couple of months are showing what we need. But man, oh man, it's a slippery slope. One or two things that happen and things start to, if we have challenges, it can hurt us. I mean, if we bring a family reunion in on Easter weekend, and that thing is still, it's getting cut, or it's not, or it hasn't been cleaned out, and that smell's wafting through, and it's not far from the pool, that can turn somebody just like that, and they can get on freaking Facebook and all that crappy stuff and put a real hole in it.
It's Travelocity, it's all.
It really, it's very dire, quite frankly, if we're not moving forward with everything.
Clark, we get back to my original point. If we decided to do this, and if was going to transfer everything over to you, we have an obligation as a village to tell TCQ we're doing this, and to say, and by the way, they're going to tear it down in the next 2 or 3 days. We have an obligation to do that, or you have an obligation to tell them that.
I would say that you have an obligation to tell them that you have transferred it and that you have transferred the responsibilities under the decommissioning agreement.
Clark, I wish it was that simple. I really do. There's nobody at this table that supports your facility as much as I do. I mean, I'm there at least twice a week down there at the restaurant, but here's the conundrum. We have spent the last 4 years developing a relationship with TCEQ, with Fish and Wildlife, and all the other organizations involved when we put this sewer plant in. You're putting us in a conundrum here.
I wouldn't do that, and the reason I wouldn't do that is because I have daily dealings with both of those agencies. I know the seriousness with which they take these matters. I think they are both delighted to have that plant gone, or will be delighted to have that plant gone. And I don't think that the village's responsibility goes beyond saying we are transferring the facility to them, and they are now responsible for compliance with this. And I will assume, or the entity will assume all liability and repercussions of that. I don't think, you can't tell them what I'm going to do because I could change my mind the moment I walk away from this podium. What I do know is that I'm responsible to a group of people who put over $6 million of equity into that project. to preserve and enhance their investment. And what I do know is we need to invest another $5 million in it to add another 60 rooms so that it will be economically viable. And we need to spend another $500,000 on the conference center, bringing it up to current standards so that it can become a meeting facility, which is what fills it during the weekdays over the winter. So we are in a phase where we can either succeed or we can fail. One of the reasons that we're electing to spend this interim chunk of money, which is not a small chunk of money, is to remove the cafe building so that when you come in off of Main Street, what you see is the courtyard. You don't see the cafe building, which I call the Pizza Hut. But it's, that we are very conscious of our image, and I'm also, most of my work is real estate development in Austin, and I have a very good reputation with both the city and with neighborhood associations because I tell the truth and I abide by the law, and I'm sensitive in what I do. And again, I have no apologies for anything we've done over there. I think it's, it would have been cheaper to close that place and start over once we found what we found. It was a both construction and a safety nightmare. I could bring you through a laundry list of things that would cause the hair on my arms to rise. But we're there now, we're in the middle of it, and we are at a critical point. I am not going to do anything to harm the village or its reputation or its relationship with those entities. And if I can't do this in a way that doesn't do that, then I won't do it. But in any event, even if I waited 30 days, I'd be out of there long before the contractor said he'd have it out of there.
Any other questions so far, please? Ron, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Any other questions, please? Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you, Terry. It's good to see you again.
Your stuff, sir.
Any other discussion needs to be carried on at this point?
Don, is there any compromise that we can work on? Can we accelerate our contract? Can we add a modification to the existing contract?
Mike,
Can we clean the tanks and seal them, or paint flowers on it, or something to make a compromise out of this?
the issue, you're at a point where they need to come down. They just need to come down. The facility's empty, it just needs to come down. But there's a process you have to follow. If we could push TCQ and we've told them we're interested in trying to expedite, they've told us we'll try to expedite. We've got to give you the standard weight answer, but it's possible it could come earlier than that. Our contractor has given us a time frame. There's no question in my mind that the contractor has given us a very liberal, out date just to cover himself so he doesn't get blasted for running late. And sometimes we get too specific with dates, people get frustrated. So my belief is he'll get it done sooner than that. I will tell you, he's not going to go in and pull those things out by hole. They've looked at those, they've examined those. Those tanks are rotten. Those tanks are rusting out. And I think that there's a possibility that those tanks could, when you get in there and start messing with them and start trying to pull on them, you may collapse them trying to pull them. They're old and they're expected to be old. So, but that said, one of the things we talked to the contractor about, and we visited with David and the Stagecoach folks about, is the fact that if we worked our contractors in there and worked in 12-hour days, Monday through Thursday, to the point where they're out of everybody's hair on the weekends, would that work? And David indicated to me that he said that would help. But, that was then, this is now. So, those are the type of things we can do. The problem you run into is if he's filling up during the week and you're working 12-hour days, that gets in the way of his folks again. So you're in a situation where you're kind of in an intersection, that's quickly filling, and it's a matter of trying to figure out how you're going to make the turn. I think from a standpoint, my belief would be this, and that is that the way you're going to get expedited removal of those things is working long hours and long nights. and those type of things, which they're not, it's gonna impact them. I don't know that I'm real interested in going in and cleaning those tanks and sanitizing those tanks if I'm not taking them down. That is not something that happens in 4 hours. That is a situation where somebody gets into the tank, and it's a confined space situation where you're dealing with a lot more issues than people realize. And then you've got the issue of cutting the sides of one of those open and getting the material pumped out, and those type of issues. And then you've got the sealing, you know the process. So it's not as simple, I think, as a standard demolition would appear.
Right, but the thing that I'd really like for us to be able to do at a minimum is get the odor problem solved right now, because
That should be gone because the tanks are now empty. There's a slight amount of material down in the bottom, but that should not be an
a
issue.
slight amount can be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. And if it does become an issue, that can easily be done by cutting a hole in the side while we're waiting and then trying to remove some of that material.
Thank you, Mayor. The reticence about cleaning the plant, which is environmental remediation, which is the village's responsibility, I don't understand. That was always built into your cost. It is something that has to be done, and you have presumably qualified people to do it. I do not. I can get them, but I don't have them. What I have is somebody who I trust as a demolition contractor, who I've used on multiple jobs, who I believe will perform on a very rapid basis to get them out of there. He's not worried about tanks coming apart. He's not worried about dealing with the removal process. But he doesn't have a crew of environmental remediators who climb in there with sludge and get rid of it. And frankly, they smell as much now as they did. I mean, once you stir up that material, it has a smell. And so that's a big problem for us. We were anticipating that, when we talked last week, I said, we need to have it out by the 15th, and that means we use every day between now and then in order to make it happen. And we've now lost 7 of those 15 days, or 8. And the economic impact of this and the long-term impact on the health, not just the loss now, but the impact on guests who are seeing it, particularly over the Easter holiday, is something that will last a very long time. And so I don't understand either why it takes so long or why you're reticent to clean out the tanks. You're going to have to do that one way or another.
If we sell, I can tell you this, the way the deal is structured right now is if the land transfers tonight with this agreement and with the second reading, we're not gonna do any more.
Well,
Because we're not responsible for decommissioning, and part of the decommissioning process is the sanitization.
well,
The original agreement says, yes, we are responsible.
my understanding of our discussion and the email that I wrote to you the day after said that the village would complete cleaning of the drums and that we.
I did not agree to that. What I said was, thank you for your overview. If you go back and read my report.
Right, I didn't say you agreed to it. I said I was clear about that because I knew that it was a specialty task that we were not qualified for. And we had discussed how long it would take, and it didn't seem like a lengthy process. If you all tell us, drop dead, you're not doing anything until it's down, you're still gonna have to clean those facilities because you gotta comply. Why you would suddenly refuse to do that, when in fact we are saving the village money on the demolition, a substantial amount of money on the demolition, puzzles me. It will more than pay for the cost of cleaning those facilities.
Don, when do we plan to get in there and do the sanitization? Do we have to wait till 30 days, or can we do that right now?
Need to wait for 30 days, really.
Can we get in there and remove the excess material so we can solve the problem of the smell? I mean, I don't see why we can't do that.
Let's talk about the smell. The plant was empty today. We do not know whether there will be a smell at this stage of the game. There is a limited amount of material down at the bottom which consists in large part of tree limbs and those type of things. And when I say a limited amount, we're talking about a very small amount. It is a situation to the point that the odor issues, in large part, as you know, through the process, come through the digestion process and come through the production of sludge. And at this stage of the game, there's no sludge in that plant. We pulled the sludge out, we're down to pretty much limbs, and there may be some minor amounts of that, but the reality of it is it should be gone from an odor standpoint. If it is a problem, that is something in the interim that we would have the ability to go in and enter the tank, probably cut a hole in the side of one of the tank and go and try to get as much of it out as we possibly can do. But we're trying to minimize how much cutting and moving around we do on that thing until we get the closure plan approved.
So I don't believe that that is correct. You cannot clean the drums until the closure plan is approved. That seems like basic,
Steps?
healthy compliance issue, not to leave a partially clean wastewater treatment plant sitting next to an occupied hotel for 30 days. And as to the smell, if y'all like to come down right now, I'll be happy to demonstrate that for you. You don't have to believe us.
My belief would be if you have any odor coming from that facility, it is from the wet well, which serves as, and will eventually also continue to serve as your
Dinner's on me, but it's gonna be next to the treatment.
Well, that's gonna be your collection point for your wastewater, so the smell will always be there.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope you seal the wet well like you're supposed to.
Okay, it's sealed right now, very limited.
It's not supposed to be left as an open sewer that a child involved.
Very true.
Any other discussion? Any other questions? There's a motion on the floor. Mike, would you please repeat your motion, please?
The motion, Your Honor, is to, for the Board of Aldermen to take no action at this time on this ordinance to transfer the deed of the Stagecoach wastewater treatment plant as presented today. And seconded.
Yes. Do I hear the call? First, is there any more discussion to go with this? Do I hear the call for the question, please?
Question?
Question has been called. All in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Opposed, likewise. It's a tie. No, it's not. Okay, let's
I'm
do.
staying right there, so I'm just not ready at this point.
Oh, you didn't, no, sorry, I thought you
I'm not
did.
ready to make a final decision, that's why I'm spending. I'm still thinking through it.
So could I see those who voted for it again, please?
The motion is to take no action.
No, what the motion is, okay, are you abstaining too? No, I'm voting against. Two, with one person abstaining, the motion passes.
Can we get an assurance from the city administrator, the village administrator, that will work hand in hand with the Stagecoach to solve that odor problem?
You have that for,
I think that's the biggest issue is driving that. I heard him say that we're gonna clean it, and then I heard you say that we're gonna clean it. So, we have that agreement going forward.
timing issue is when that cleaning takes place, and it's part of our decommissioning plan that we submitted today to TCQ.
So you're proposing that we do it for 30 days with that odor. We will pursue this through the courts. If you know that you are obligated to convey this real estate to us, you know that it is causing us daily business harm, you know that you have the opportunity to clean it and you're refusing to do it, you've completed all the evidence we need that the village of Salado is imposing significant business damage on Stagecoach Inn, and we will take action. thanks for your support.
Second part of this was the ordinance. Consider approval of the second and final reading of an ordinance authorizing the village of Salado to convey that certain 2.092 acre real property tract of land out of and a part of the H.W. Hurd Survey, abstract number 398 in Bell County, more particularly described by meets and bounds in deed recording in volume 4066, page 433 of the deed records of Bell County, Texas, and providing for the following findings of fact, repealers, severability, proper notice, and meeting.
Mayor, no actions to be taken on this tonight.
Okay, go on. Just let it go, okay? Do I hear a motion for adjournment?